And that's usually when the market is volatile, it opens up or down, but it stays neutral where it is. So those are some of the toughest mornings that you have to wait a little bit longer. So remember those mornings, you open up or down, but you stay neutral for several minutes. Like the market opens down, but it can't figure out, does it want to continue down or does it want to snap back up? You don't know, and the market doesn't know. So you have to be patient and wait for the market to start to show you its first path of least resistance. That's really what the art of trading the open is all about. It's all about looking for the market's least path of resistance. Which side does it seem to be giving into more easily? Guys, so MU looks interesting off the open here this morning. MU, there it is. Okay, let's keep an eye on MU. For something a little higher price, I like Square off the open. Interesting Square off the open here this morning as well. You've got Microsoft looking interesting off the open. QCOM looking interesting off the open. Um, Square. Square has just triggered a sell. Guess I'm going to try this NVIDIA short here. See where this takes me. But Square has triggered. Apple is trying to trigger for my Apple traders. QCOM has triggered and MU has triggered. Everything that I mentioned has basically triggered. So the MU has given a sell signal. QCOM has given a sell signal. Square has given a sell signal, SQ. My NVIDIA falling into, there's that P&L on the NVIDIA trying to hit bids, but let's see if it can hit me. But go guys, come on baby, come to Bobby, come to Bobby, come to Bobby. Um, look at that turnaround in NVIDIA, that's interesting. It's right up near the tail and the 200. Wondering if that's my secondary play, although that move up is pretty strong. Look at the Baba, guys. Baba just fell out of bed here. See, that's that scenario, guys. Baba, let me show you this. Let me bring up the Epic Pin. This is important. This is what I was saying. There are some mornings where your stock opens up or down, but it stays neutral for a bit. That's what Baba did. See, it opened down, but stayed neutral for 2, 4, 6 minutes. So 6 minutes of neutral activity, but you have to wait until the market begins to show you the path of least resistance. That path of least resistance turned out to be to the downside. You see? And so, you know, there are mornings that give you that neutral activity. Oh, so now Microsoft looks like its path of least resistance is on the bull side. It continues to come back and erase the red. So that's interesting. These are the tricky days because you get more bullish signs than bearish signs, but then you have resistance above you, and you've got to make that choice. Do you go with the bull or do you go with the resistance? Or do you just skip it and move to something that's not in that scenario? NVIDIA. Oh, NVIDIA is coming up into an interesting area here. Might have a little scalp opportunity up here for me. Let's see. Still see a lot of uncertainty in the market. So it's a mixed market environment here, guys. A lot of uncertainty in the market here. Microsoft trying to move to new lows here, guys. New lows. MU still holding on. Who still has the MU short? All right. Did you guys add to it? All right, so you got 2 ads. I see the 2 ads. You don't play around. Just cut your losses. Losses are part of the game. You can't ever eliminate trading losses. You can control them, you can minimize them, but you can't ever eliminate them. All right? They will be with us forever. This will just be one of those losses. You know? That's it. But that's where it's got to be. Still a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Like take a look at Apple. So it had that initial move, but it's uncertain here. Look at Twitter. Twitter is uncertain. A lot of salt and pepper. Microsoft, even though it just dipped to new lows, was uncertain for a while here. QCOM, uncertain after an initial drop there. A lot of uncertainty here in the market. That reluctance here on QCOM. We're seeing the reluctance on MU. We're seeing the reluctance on even BABA at this point. Reluctance to it's trying, but it keeps popping back up. You see JD, the reluctance on JD. It tries, but keeps popping back up. Apple, popping back up here. So I think we're inching, while the market's still uncertain, we're inching more toward a take the buy signals market environment here. Tough. Not the easiest morning here, not the easiest morning. Not the easiest morning. Here on QCOM, we're seeing the reluctance on MU. We're seeing the reluctance on even BABA at this point. Reluctance to it's trying, but it keeps popping back up. You see JD, the reluctance on JD. It tries, but keeps popping back up. Apple, popping back up here. So think we're moving to, we're inching, while the market's still uncertain, we're inching more toward a take the buy signals market environment here. Tough. Not the easiest morning here, not the easiest morning. Guys, it's a little bit of a tricky morning when I've only got 1100 after the first 30 minutes of trading. It's crazy. Microsoft, guys. Who's riding that one? Nice, Tyler. Jan, nice. And they're awesome. Henrik, beautiful. Join us in Starbucks long. All right, cool. That was a nice little play there off the 200 in Starbucks. Awesome. And guys, so the Baba had another secondary leg here. So guys, take a look at this move up. Let me show you something here. Take a look at this move up. You see? After the drop. And then take a look at the difference with Starbucks's move. See? These are the ones you got to be careful of. The ones that give you a giant fat green bar. And if you're thinking about a secondary leg to the short side, it's usually low odds. All right. So that secondary bounce, you want more like Baba's. No big bar in there really. And then boom, new lows. All right. You should be taking profits on that drop to new lows. But you know, once you get the big bar, things get questionable. Like, look at the big bar in Twitter. Now, if you try to short this, here's a bare 180, but the big bar is supporting everything. You see? Got to be careful of those big bars. Look at Facebook. This is what I pointed out today in Facebook. The two big bar run here is now your support. So it's supporting everything, you know? Once you get a big bar, that secondary move is a little more questionable. Some of you understand this. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. All right. So you can improve your choices with this concept, you know, back up, right? Now to short here is you're right next to the bull. You got to get away from this bull. Then you have a chance. But to short so close to it usually is low odds. Usually it's low odds. So basically you got stopped out on this move up here. Is that it? All right, yeah, it's a time-based stop. See the time? Time is reluctance to make new lows. You got to bring whatever stop you have, you got to bring your stop on top of time. Once time, this is time, once time has revealed itself, time gets your stop. You understand? So that if you break above time, you got to be out of this thing here. Does that make sense, traders? Time-based stops. Once time reveals itself, time gets your stop. So you have drops and rallies, and you know how you drop and then the pivot gets your stop, then you bring your stop down to the pivot? Well, that's the same as if you get this, all right? Drop, and instead of moving back up, you move this way. But the same way you put your stop here, you put your stop here. It's just that this is laying down, all right? So drop, time, stop adjustment on top of time, out, okay? So remember, the stop rests one of two ways, right? The stop is going to rest this way or this way. They both accomplish the same. In the same way that you don't want that, you don't want this after time. Time-based stop, that's it. All right, guys, I am going to, doesn't look like I'm going to get a secondary move here, guys. So I'm going to bow out on you here. Got some things to finish up here this morning. But yeah, we picked up some things here, guys. I think one of the key messages, two key messages here, waiting for the path of least resistance. If the market opens up or down and stays neutral, you got to wait for a strong move up or down out of that neutral zone. And big bars in your retracement. If you get a big bar or a multi-big bar movement that is against the initial move, that big bar or multi-big bar movement throws a problematic angle into the situation. You know, so be careful when you are trying to short against a previous big bar movement. Shorts right next to big bar movements have low odds. All right, guys. All right, I'll see some of you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. Ciao.